For those who want to live a long and healthy life, this is the food pyramid. Water, the most vital component of human health, is located at the base of the pyramid. You may find whole grain items on the second tier of the pyramid above the water. In addition, there are a wide variety of fruits and vegetables available. Also included in this list as a healthy option are mild animal products such as fish, poultry, and eggs. Sugar and salt may be found at the summit of the pyramid, which is not advised. The finest and worst foods to eat for optimal health may be found in this pyramid. On the 22nd and the 23rd of September, 2009, the net loss of soil across Australia was calculated by this map owing to wind erosion. The centre of the country was hit the worst, while the west and north of the country were spared. The midsection of the continent suffered the greatest loss of soil due to wind erosion on the whole. The height of trees is depicted in the following graph. Hemlock, cedar, spruce, and Douglas fir are among the materials. According to this graph, the average height in hemlock is roughly 130 feet. Cedars is a little higher, at roughly 200 feet. As you may see from this graph, Douglas fir has the greatest height value, which is about the length is 280 feet. Finally, Douglas fir has the greatest number. The above pie chart shows the percentage of people using the medium to listen to music in 1983 and 1993. Cassettes were mostly used in 1983, whereas in 1993 CDs were mostly used. The second largest medium was LP/EP in 1983, and 1993 it was cassettes. CDs and vinyl single were least used in 1983 and 1993 music videos. LP/EP, the vinyl single was least used. This bar graph compares New Zealand's and Australia's 2010 energy usage, both expressed as a percentage. Both Australia and New Zealand relied heavily on gasoline and oil as their primary source of energy, with Australia utilising 80% and New Zealand using 70%. In addition, Australia and New Zealand were the nations with the lowest use of coal, at around 2% in Australia's case and about 8% in New Zealand's. Petrol and oil were utilised the most, while coal was used the least in both nations on average. This graph, in quadrillion BTUs, illustrates the overall use of renewable energy from 1949 to 2008, as well as the primary sources. 3.5 quadrillion BTU was the total amount of renewable energy consumed in 1949. Hydroelectric power and wood, 1.75 quadrillion BTU, were key sources of energy. 7 quadrillion BTU was consumed in 2008. Hydroelectric power, 2.4 quadrillion BTU, wood, 2.1 quadrillion BTU, wind, 0.8 quadrillion BTU, and biofuels, 0.4 quadrillion BTU, were the primary sources, 1.7 quadrillion BTU. In total, renewable energy use increased from 1949 to 2008. Furthermore, the quantity of noteworthy resources has grown. The chart shows the enrollment comparison of 400 research students with an equal number of males and females. All the students opted for natural sciences. Psychology and mathematics were opted by all male students with comparatively lesser female enrollments. Similarly, engineering and programming received around 75% of male enrollments and less than 50% female enrollments. Linguistics opted by a bit more than 100 female students and near about 85 male students. Precipitation fluctuations across land may be seen on the map, which dates back to 1900. We can see from the map that there were both increases and decreases in precipitation throughout this time period, with Africa seeing the greatest rise in precipitation. However, in North America, Asia, and the vast majority of Oceania, the number of deaths was reduced. Furthermore, rainfall in China and the center of Africa rose by 2 to 5%. Finally, the image depicts variations in precipitation distribution. People's favorite movie genres are shown in a pie chart. Romance films accounted for 30% of all movie viewing, followed by action pictures at 25%. 20% of moviegoers preferred sci-fi or comedy flicks, while only 5% preferred dramas. Romance films are the most popular, while dramas are the least popular. From 2003 to 2012, the number of severe weather days recorded on this map of the United States. Severe weather occurs just once or twice a year in the western part of the United States, but the Midwest and East Coast experience 20 to 30 days each year. Overall, the East Coast of the United States experiences more severe weather days than the West Coast. The carbon dioxide cycle is demonstrated here. Plants release organic carbon as a result of photosynthesis, which is facilitated by sunlight. Underneath the surface, organic carbon from plants decays. Aside from fossils and fossil fuels, there are other fossils and waste products in the earth. The procedure then demonstrates how animal and plant respiration contributes to atmospheric carbon dioxide levels. The whole CO2 cycle, from photosynthesis to respiration, may be seen in this process. The graphic shows how milk is produced. At a dairy, there is a milking and processing step. Grazing cows are milked twice daily by a milking machine, and the milk is stored in refrigerators or delivered to the dairy daily in a milk tanker. This milk is either made into cheese, butter or pasteurized for later use in supermarkets and stores when it arrives at the dairy. This graph shows the growth of the population in Canada from 1978 to 2009. It is taken from the website about statistics in Canada. There are 3 graphs in the chart. The green graph shows the total growth of the population, the black one deals with the migrated people in Canada, and the blue graph shows the natural increase of the population. In 1988/89 there was an enormous growth. In the following years the total growth went down to about 250,000 in 1998/99. From that time on the Canadian population has been gradually growing again, although the natural increase slows down. So we can say that the growth of the population in Canada is based on migration. This is a map of the world displaying the forecast of the world GDP in 2016, measured in percent. It looks that Southeast Asia will have the biggest growth with 5.4%, while Latin America and Western Europe had the least growth of 0.6% and 1.8% respectively. Overall, Asia experienced the biggest increase, with Latin America having the least rise in GDP. The median and average sales price of new homes sold in the United States from 1963 to 2011 is shown in this line graph. This progressively increased in value until it peaked in 2007 at about $310,000 on average, and $200,000 on the median. While sales prices rose gradually from 1963 and 2007, there was a dramatic drop in 2009, perhaps due to the global financial crisis, to roughly $275,000 on average and around $225,000 as a median price. The map illustrates about the possible supermarkets that can be built in Galston town, with the number of citizens are 65,000. The first potential location, S1, is outside the town itself and is sited just off the main road to the town of Hindon, lying 12 kilometers to the northwest. This site would be able to accommodate a lot of car parking. This would make it accessible to shoppers from both Hindon and Galston who could travel by car. As it is also close to the railway line linking towns to Cranston, a potentially large number of shoppers would also be able to travel by train. Suggested location, S2, is right in the town centre, which would be good for local residents, but as the central area is a no-traffic zone, cars would be unable to park and access would be difficult. Neither site is appropriate for all the towns, but the out-of-town site, S1, would probably offer more advantages. Two different types of woods may be seen all around the world on this map. To distinguish between evergreen and deciduous woods, the color green is used for evergreen forests and red for deciduous forests, which are found mostly in North America and nations located around equator. In general, it appears that evergreen forests are more prevalent in the west while deciduous forests are more prevalent in the east around the globe. The percentage of people living in urban areas in 2003 and 2030 is depicted in this bar graph. In 2003, North America had the highest percentage of its people living in urban settings, 80%, while Africa had the lowest, 39%. South America, 83%, and Africa, 53%, are predicted to have the biggest percentage of their populations living in urban areas in 2030, respectively. All continents are expected to see a rise in the percentage of people living in urban areas. An image represents a very complex flowchart of anaerobic digestion. Anaerobic organisms are the ones that don't require any oxygen to live. The chart starts with the node on the top labeled as waste feed material where storage and any pre-treatment takes place. The very first after that is digester, from where it splits into two biogas or separator. The biogas advances in biogas storage vessel where it is used as fuel such as in vehicles, turbine or generator, and gas burner or boiler. The stage of separator further moves on to liquor storage and fiber. The text also says that the liquor could be marketed depending on the locality. Overall, it seems to be a very complex process. The bar graph, which is measured in tens of thousands, depicts the week's worth of daily vehicle production. As the week progresses, it appears that automobile production rises steadily, peaking at 13,400 cars on Wednesday and then fluctuating, with just 2,000 cars manufactured on Saturday and no cars made on Sunday. Overall, Wednesday is the day when the most automobiles are created, while Sunday is the only day when no cars are made.